In this video, we are going to solve one of the most famous coding interview questions. Do some LeetCode. This problem might look simple, but it teaches an extremely important concept used in many coding interviews. So first let us understand the question. Now you are given an integer called nums and an integer is called as target. Now your task is to find out two numbers in the array whose sum is equal to the target value. But instead of retaining the number themselves, we should return their indices. Important rule here is you cannot use the same element twice. Like I cannot add 2 plus 2 twice to get the target value, because there will always be exactly one valid solution. Now see the input here. What is the input given? 2, 7, 11, 15. What is the target value? We should find out 9. It is our task to find out whose sum is equals to 9. That is what the question tells us. Now let us understand the example. What we are going to understand here is what is the problem given. Let us check 2 plus 7. What is the target value? Is equals to 9, which is equal to the given target value. So what will be the answer now? As I told you, the important rule was to return their indices. So I will return 0, 1, which is 0. This will be the answer, because 2 is at the index of 0 and 7 is at the index of 1. So this is what the answer will be returned. Beginners usually try brute force first. The simplest way to solve the problem is check every pair of the array. First pick the first number, compare it with every number. If the sum is equal to the target, return their indices. Now see here, this is what the input given, right? Nums is equals to 2, 7, 11, 15, 9. Here solution is found immediately in the first iteration itself. 2 plus 7, we got 9. But imagine if we have 1 lakh numbers, then what is the how we can solve this? Then we must check the n into n, that is n into n operations which we should check. This is very efficient. Now let us first understand the simplest way to solve this problem. It's called brute force approach. Brute force means it checks every possible combination until we find the answer. So as I told, 2 plus 7, 2 plus 11, 2 plus 15, until it finds the target value. Now let us take the first. Number. Add it with the every other number. First number, add it with the every other number. Check if the sum equals to 9. If it matches, return their indices. Now let us take 2. We compare it with every value. So first let us compare it with 7. What is the value given now? 9. This is equal to the given target. So we will return 0, 1. 0, 1. It is their indices, because 2 is at 0's index and 7 is at 1 index. We compare every element pair of numbers until we find 2 numbers, right? Until we find the target. Until we should find the target, we should keep on adding it. Now let us see brute force approaches Python code. What does it teach us? Let us see. Now here given is length. What is this line? It tells us n is equal to length nums. This stores the length of the array. Now let us think we have 5 elements inside the array. Or this is the length. This is what stored here. Then we come to this line. This is the loop that selects first line. As we saw the in the input, it was given to 7 like that. No, like that it will choose always. This loop chooses the first number. Then we come to this section. This loops select the first number I plus 1. I plus 1, we shouldn't take 1, we should take the next number which is next to the 2, because we should not compare the same number with itself. We should add it with other number to get the target value. Now let us see this line. This check if the given sum equals to the given target. If it is equal, then it will return the indices. Now let us learn the time complexity here. The outer loop, this is the outer loop, okay. The outer loop runs n times. The inner loop also runs, this one for j runs n times. So what will be the total operation? The total operation become n into n. N into n. This is what the total operation become. So if it become total operation, what it will be? It is like this, which is equals to n into n, which is equals to big O of n square. This n square is called as quadratic time complexity. This array size becomes very large. When the array size becomes very large, the force or the method becomes slow. That's what this line is explained here. The array size becomes very large. The brute force method becomes very slow, because we need to check every possible pair. Now here comes the space complexity. What is space? First let us understand the difference between space complexity and brute force. Space complexity means extra memory used by the algorithm. Brute force uses no extra memory. Space complexity is 0, 1. 0, 1. This is the space complexity. What does this mean? This is the constant space. So let us understand why brute force is not efficient. Because imagine, in the given input we find out iteration immediately, because it was a less number, smaller number. Compare if we have 1 lakh numbers, what does it will do? It will do 1 lakh into 1 lakh comparisons. This will become extremely slow. So we need faster and better approach. To improve the performance, we can use data structure called a HashMap. In Python, HashMap is called a dictionary. What number do I need to reach the target? The number is called the complement. For that, this formula is used. This is the formula to use. Okay, this is the formula. Now let us say